Having this nice coffee. Hello. Anybody out there? I got my internet set up. And it's time to party. Let me see where this damn thing is. Right here. I was testing it. Yeah, this is going to be looking good. Hell yeah. Let's see here. How can I type this shit? Hey Tim, how you doing? Yeah, I got my network all set up and just checking out this computer. Ready to rock, man. Back to the old days. You got lucky up there with that weather. Hey, Mixed Gas. Party started. We're going to be doing these all the time. Actually, I'm getting some. I plan on getting a vulture cam. I'm starting a tree farm here, plus cut flowers. And good, better than before. Hey, Larry, how you doing? How's it going? Well, thank you. Every room is like that with books. Clear picture. Yeah, I just got this new router that I hooked up last night. Right here. I have last year's model in the other house. This is a Rogue Rapture BE98 Pro 2. I got 2 gigabyte download speed, 1 gigabyte upload speed. And I got the fastest gaming router they make right now. They're kind of expensive, but I didn't want to fuck around. So I wanted to bring back the old days. Good chats, lay it on the line, tell the truth, nothing to lose, balls out. Hey Pug, how you doing? Got my new router set up, got my new network set up. We're going back to the old days. Late night chats all night long. Yeah, and I'm going to have outside cams. Yeah, it's not quite done yet, but it's getting there. I'm going to have all night cameras for animals, vultures. Going back to the good old days. Yeah, it took forever. Honestly, man, I'm not shitting you. I mean, I'll tell you the honest to God truth. So I wasn't doing too good mentally when I first got down here, and that's no secret. And then I was given the wrong goddamn blood pressure medication for 18 months. And I told that stupid son of a bitch, I had every side effect there was, severe side effect. The reason I didn't catch it sooner is because I never looked at severe. I wasn't convulsing. I wasn't doing this. I wasn't doing that. And I am feeling like hell. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, Pug. I think I'm going to do that. I am feeling great. I'm working out, just about 300 extra pounds of steel weights. I've lost 3 inches on my waist. I've lost 29 pounds. And I walk 6 miles, 6.2 miles every other day. And then I lift weights every other day. Good. Now, people, some of these fuckers that didn't like me on YouTube, they would always say that I was an alcoholic because my face was red. And I said, it's the way the light works with the white balance on things that aren't designed to take photographs, like laptop cameras. So that one made me look like an alcoholic red. Now this one makes me look too white. I can't win. Yeah, I was sick for a long time. Yeah, thank you. I'm not kidding you, man. No shit, I couldn't get anything done. Just felt like crap. Stupid ass doctor. I'm about halfway through on a letter I'm sending that dumb motherfucker. It's one thing. This is the downside. We've talked about this before. This is the downside of general practitioners writing prescriptions for blood pressure medication. If you're going to do that, then you need to be familiar with them more. And you know what pisses me off? Is I was on one that I didn't have a problem with, and the stupid son of a bitch decided to change it. Why would you do that? God. And I went back to him with every major symptom possible. It cost me 18 months of unproductivity, emergency room visits, sometimes staying at home for 3 weeks and not going anywhere. Lisinopril, that's what I was taking. Look it up yourself. And I'm going to lay it out in a letter to this dumb son of a bitch, whether he likes it or not. I got to keep going back to my original personality. Once in a while, I catch myself fucking up, and I try to be like, well, I think I'm pretty sensitive. I try to be like more congenial, I guess. I think to myself, I'm going to write this guy a letter and, a learning experience for both of us. And then I just, lisinopril. Yep, that's right. Look at the severe side effects. I had them all, especially gastritis. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to say it was all a waste of time because it wasn't. I lost 25 pounds being on lisinopril that I shouldn't have. Here's Michelle. Find out what new disasters going on in her life. Michelle, are there any new disasters to report?
Just living life.
No, all right. Okay. How do you like my new? I got my new network set up, new router.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Pug has mentioned this all along. I'm gonna set up a outside globe just like the old days. We're gonna stay up all night.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, because I know when since you've lived out there, your internet's been very sketchy.
Well, now in the other house, it's good. Actually, I've got a year-old router in the old house. But what happened is I moved over here. And hey, Mr. Robinson, I moved over here. And honestly, I've only been feeling what I would say good for a month, maybe 3 weeks. Where I got back into the old days. Really, I feel like I'm 25 again.
Awesome.
All because of getting off a goddamn prescription. So sometimes there would be visitors over there. Sometimes Marty's wife would come into town. And I didn't want to be sitting on the counters. Now, in the summertime when it was warm, or kind of the fall, you could sit out on the porch knowing you were out there. You'd have smoking internet. But it just didn't, even though they're cool and we're tight friends, it just wasn't cool for them to be in a bedroom, me be in the kitchen, and me having an all night long chat.
Right. No, I understand.
So that's why, even though they said no problem, it didn't wake them up. It's just, being at home by yourself, or if you're with somebody else, it's not like
you have to you have your privacy.
Yeah. Well, no, when there's another person in the house, even Marty and I talk about this. We're both like loner guys. We hardly ever hang around. And there's a lot of times he'll be 50 feet away for a week and we haven't talked. And we like it that way. But if you're in a house with someone, it's not the same as being alone.
Right. You can't just do no, I understand.
So what I did during the part of, not feeling so great for so long is I thought if I get internet in that new house, I'm never going to finish it. I wasn't feeling good. I couldn't get anything done. I just fucking felt like shit. I thought, man, I can't be fucking around the internet all the time. And, even though I was getting some stuff done, not like I liked. So I just kind of deprived myself of the internet over here.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought I'd never get moved in if I had it. And then I started feeling better. And then I ordered it and now I have it. So
well, congratulations on feeling better. I mean,
I feel like a lot better. I walk 6.2 miles every other day, fast too, not just strolling around. And I've been lifting weights. I just got 300 extra pounds of steel weights the other day. In a year, I lost 28 pounds, 3 inches off my waist, but it was because of being on that fucked up, hey, Andrew, prescription. But now I'm getting in good shape.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So things are looking up.
That's a good thing.
How's your life going?
Just a crazy, like,
yeah. Okay.
Now,
I put up a thing. There's actually a thing where we're going to have a night where we're going to discuss affairs. I encouraged anybody that has experience with that to maybe make a new ID.
Yeah, I think that might be. I mean,
because there's a lot of stuff. Let me tell you, I can't tell you who because it's like, I don't know if it's really an ethics violation or not, but I worked on 2 super famous cases as a PI.
Yeah.
One a murder, one was not.
Okay.
And I learned so much. When you're just a layperson fucking around, you learn about affairs through your own experience, through them happening to you, to people that got divorced, through what you see on TV, how books are written, movies, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But I learned about affairs from police investigations that nobody would have known about otherwise, and through crime scene evidence in diaries that were found that you wouldn't have guessed in a million fucking years. And what I learned about, you tend to think if you don't know all aspects of something, you tend to think that, well, affairs, well, he's not getting it at home or she's not getting what she needs. But you know what? The biggest thing that stands out to me that I learned in older women having affairs with married men, all the good guys are taken up. The likelihood of you being in your 40s or 50s and finding a quality good guy that's available is damn near zero. It's possible, but the odds are really low. So what ends up happening is women that are single, that are working with quality guys that are married. And another thing that's interesting that I found out is that older women that are interested in, let's say, a sexual intimate relationship with a guy, in their mind, and I've read this in diaries that they never thought anybody'd read. In their mind, they're getting everything they want and none of the baggage. They're having great sex and the motherfucker isn't around all the time. Does it get any better than that? Now, when you're young, you don't know that yet. But when you get older and you spent 3 or 5 or 7 years of every trick in the book trying to find someone you were attracted to have a relationship, and you fail, and you've got a good job and your career and your kids from your prior marriage are doing great, it is slim pickings. And a lot of women take the plunge because they're tired of waiting. And like I just said, no kids around. The guy isn't snoring on the couch with an empty bag of Lay's potato chips and a cigar that's still burning. They got all the good and none of the bad. They're also less likely to catch a disease. That's exactly right. So when you look at, and then it's like everything in life is like this. Every single thing, jobs, relationships, whatever. So I would not know this until just being this age, experiencing things that no one else was privy to other than a couple police detectives, and putting it all together. And friends of mine and women that I know that had affairs, when you're a young guy and there's a young woman and she's 21 and she has an affair, she's a two-bit whore. And when she's 45 and you know how the world really works and you understand why it happened, she's taking care of herself first. Now, is it immoral? Of course it is.
Right.
But let me tell you, that paradigm shifts too as you age. You're playing by all these rules when you're young and you're not deep throating a fucking tongue on the dance floor drunk while your boyfriend sleeps at home wondering where the fuck you're at. It's different when you're older.
I think,
And another thing that's surprising too, here, let me give you one more example. There was a guy, Joshua Fedor, pretty sure he's a Jewish guy, probably brilliant, dime a dozen with the Jews. He wrote a book on memory. That's how I know about him. But he wrote a book based on a dating service that him and his buddy had put together. And at the time, the dating service was for anybody that wanted to go on there. You could be gay, bi, trans. They didn't give a fuck. It was an open-ended dating service. This would be like 20 years ago. I can't remember the name of it because I never really knew about it until I read the book. I always think Hello Kitty, which I know it's not, but it's somewhere along that kind of name. But anyway, just like Google, what they do is they would take all this data. So you open up a free-for-all dating site and you fill out your profile, bi, straight, whatever. At the end of like 10 years owning this dating site, they went through, they stripped the identifying information, just like you at home. When you wake up tomorrow morning and you've searched jumbo dildos all night and you were looking for one to buy, and the next morning you wake up and all of a sudden you got ads for jumbo dildos. That's how digital advertising works. They don't know who you are, but they know at that MAC address and that IP address, there's someone looking for jumbo dildos. So they did the same thing with the data they crunched with the dating service. And you know what was interesting that they found? They found that 99.6% of the people that identified themselves as bisexual only searched one sex. Doesn't make any sense. If you're really bisexual, wouldn't you be looking at both men and women? They weren't. So the point here is people represent themselves sometimes for like to be cool in a society, a changing in the size. It's society. It's okay to be you. And here they're claiming, I know two people that I've always been suspicious of. That's women that claim they were bisexual. And I bet these would have been two of those type women. I've only seen them with guys. So what people tell you isn't always accurate. You never know. People are trying to take credit for something they didn't do. Happens all the time with homicides. They find somebody chopped up into a million pieces and 50 people are trying to say it was them. Weird human behavior. You never know. It wasn't Hello Kitty, but it was a name like that. I think I knew some black girl that liked me in Chicago, and I'm not attracted to black women. I know it sounds terrible, but I don't like green beans either. So hold off on your stereotypes.
You suck. Green beans are awesome.
I hate them. And she was big. She was like an adult woman, and she collected everything Hello Kitty, like these dolls and their clothes and all this stuff. Crazy bitch. I mean, she had a whole room full of this fucking shit. So what people say and what they do, and I think that logic also lends itself to why, as you age, there's points you get where you just don't want to date people.
Oh, yeah.
You're too smart. You see bullshit.
I have family members who, after they got divorced and everything, they didn't want to get remarried. Yeah. They didn't want to live with anybody again. Yeah. They just didn't want to go through all of it again.
Part of it is too, they saw enough by the time they got out of that relationship. And then they may have tested the waters with, oh, wow, I'm 46 now. I'm single again. Wow. And they get out there and they find this fucking sucks. Talk about a junkyard of broken people. This isn't like when you're young. Not at all.
I think you have to go for like a mindset too. I mean, if you go out there, and don't get me wrong, there's probably a million people that it's just sucks and everything else. Yeah. But I mean,
you're about ready to find out. And I'm not saying it isn't possible. I'm kind of a half empty guy, negative. I find bad things with everything, and other people are the other kind that spin things positive. And another thing too, if you look at data on relationships in general, there are more divorces now than there are marriages. So
Oh yeah. Well,
it's
yeah,
not
it's always
just
going
us.
on.
And what are
Oh
the
yeah. Well,
causes? But I think the main thing is, I think they would have always been this way. I think there's just as many gays around now as there were 10,000 years ago.
oh, I'm sure. I'm
But
sure.
now
It's more
women don't need to put up with some asshole because they can go out and get a job and support themselves.
right.
And that's why divorces are up. Fuck yeah, man. What a terrible life it must have been for a woman that bore a couple kids for one of these jackoffs that just lived a barless jail her whole life of misery and discontent. Like my parents.
I mean, you're always going to have the relationships that just were bad, well, I mean, now it's also more divorce is more acceptable than what it was back in 1930s,
Yeah, yeah,
1940s, where it was a big no, where
right.
now it's like
Yeah,
no one's going to judge you if you say that you're divorced. Like
I mean,
nobody's going to have this like horrible judgment against you if you're a divorced
right.
person anymore.
I know older women that won't date guys if they haven't been married before. To them, if you're 55 and never been married, that's a major warning signal.
Mm,
And why do people get married to begin with? All sorts of reasons. Look at your reasons. Look at mine.
yeah.
It's not always Ozzie and Harriet.
Well, I mean,
I've went through my list again. If I ever got married again, which now that I'm feeling good, I wouldn't totally rule it out. And I've changed my list totally around. I've taken away house cleaning, great sense of humor, not spending my money, spend yours, and I've put blowjobs number one.
God, that's
Thank
good.
you,
Anybody,
thank you. Hey,
anybody want it?
yeah,
Tom will put his
thank you,
number.
thank you, thank
Tom,
you,
Tom
thank
will
you.
put his number in for all you ladies out
Thank
there
you.
who
Yeah,
are single and
yeah, and I also on my dating profile that I'm about ready to launch. I tried. I went once again. I was saying earlier. I catch myself instead of like titling my profile "Love Late Night Walks on the Beach." I took that out and put "Let's fuck," and then walk on the beach.
You're nuts.
You happy for me?
I'm happy for you, Tom. Whatever
Thank
it
you.
is,
Okay.
I can't wait to see all the replies you get on your
Well, see,
profile.
that's the
Okay.
problem. See, so I'm being everything that you women claim you want, honest, and you're turned off. You think that I'm inappropriate and really weird.
If anybody wants to, if anybody out there right now,
No, don't.
Tom
They
is
might. You're not doing me any favors. Let them do it in secret. But when you bring it up like that, they don't want to be
okay. Okay, fine.
castigated into their own island by
Okay.
themselves.
Okay, you don't have to say anything in the chat. He has it. He has
Yeah,
his
thank you.
email.
Oh,
His email is in his profile. So send him a
this is
message, you
a this
guys.
is a this is a life lesson because even though I say that and I'm joking about it, if somebody ever took me up on it, I'd run. I'd never call them back. So this is how we all end up like this. I mean, there's a protocol for getting to know somebody. And
Right.
if that's breached, the whole thing goes down the shitter. There's a
Well,
step.
what is the protocol
Well, you
for
go
everybody
out,
out
and
there?
they're not, let's say, they're not telling you over fondue and fine wine that they love to suck both balls at once. They're waiting. Is that a good example for you?
Well, most people, right? They go out, they see if they like a person first,
Mm-hmm,
feel
mm-hmm.
them out and
Yeah.
everything else,
Hey,
and
James.
then it usually comes afterwards.
Well, yeah, they say it's just you're going out to dinner. Not really, man. This is a subtle, pleasant interrogation. You want to figure out where these crazies are coming from. What are you into? What do you not like? Like if I go out, like I don't have, it's legal. I don't have a problem. Like I've never smoked marijuana, right? Just never really interested me. I mean, it's not a moral issue. God, no. I broke all the other ones like big time. I should get awards for them. It's just drugs never really interest me. And if I went out and, they're 360 or 420 or whatever the fuck they call it, I wouldn't even answer. I wouldn't
It's
even answer that.
420.
I wouldn't even answer that fucking ad. Because I just don't want to be around someone that's smoking dope all the time. I don't like the smell of it.
It's your preference,
My
right? I
preference, right?
mean, it's
Yeah,
your,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I get it.
So, but this affair thing I think would be quite interesting. And I was kind of surprised just, putting those early ones up. I didn't think I'd quite have this internet working by now. People that had already admitted having one using their real screen names. I hope they join the chat. Not too many people want to come up and talk, but that's why I don't want anybody getting in trouble for it. You know what I mean?
Well, I think if you're, if you're content about everything and you're just honest and you want to tell your story or, for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
then you
That's
should
what
be
I
able
think.
to,
But people, but the nice thing about discussions like this is, there's going to be things that come up that we didn't think of, or that people experienced, or why they did it, and because first of all, is it bad? Well, I guess so. I guess it's bad to have an affair, but do they happen? They sure do. And maybe out of the discussion, is it possible sometimes things are better for people after an affair? Now, a guy like me, I know I got a major screw loose with this shit. I think I do. Like I can't like forgive people for stuff too much. Maybe a spill of fucking glass of milk on my 1713 map that I just got on eBay yesterday. I could probably get over that. But this infidelity shit, no way. I'm not fucking doing it. I could try, but it would just be on my, I know like I'm nuts. And I would be thinking of this shit, rear-ending people and shit at stoplights. It's like on my mind. Then you're coming home and you're like, start thinking of it. And I'll tell you, man, I know guys that it made, at least it seemingly, and women too, made their relationships better. But I
I've
think,
known, yeah, I've known a lot of people who've, done that stuff, and it's, it works, it's both ways. It's one of those things where it's like, you probably shouldn't do it, but it could end up either way,
but I think
bad
too,
or
it's
good.
like, this all sounds good. This is another thing too. It all sounds good. Like there are no consequences now because we're not talking about ourselves. We're talking about other people. But take, for an example, your husband. If you knew that he was just pounding the hell out of some 19-year-old vagina while you thought he was at work, that would tend to be on your mind for a while.
Yeah, if I found out about that, I would definitely leave the marriage, especially if it would be, I think it would be circumstantial, right?
Yeah.
So if he came up to me and told me and like he was ashamed, he was upset about it,
Mm-hmm.
like he was sorry, like legit,
Mm-hmm.
it might be different than if I found out about it. He never
Yeah.
said anything and he lied for
Mm-hmm.
a long time. I think there would be different, there's differences in it.
Yeah.
And
But the world, we're sold a bill of goods like the way it's supposed to work is you're supposed to discuss things before it gets that far. And look, there are just serial adulterers. You may have married one, you didn't know it. There's just people that are going to fuck around even if things are great at home. So,
I think most of the time something was wrong at home, for at least for the
yeah,
people
but
that
I
I
can tell you
know.
this. I can tell you this, and this is what I've learned is my PI cases and my life experience with other people
Hmm.
is that I don't want to say it's worse, but there's a different uh, formula for men than women, I think. Now, people say, oh, you're full of shit. But men can want to have sex with other women, and they're nothing like the wife. They're stupid. They're irresponsible. They're not successful. It's just some new sex. Where women, it seems to be more of an emotional attachment, minus being a complete nymphomaniac that just has to
Right.
drop the bar because she has to have it all the time and she doesn't care from who.
Well,
I think that's more of a thing that's been created in Pornhub than reality. I don't think I've ever met a I see them on Oprah and stuff over the years, but I don't think I've ever personally known a woman that had to, like, was the way they described it as a nympho in a porno movie. No, it wouldn't. Hey, Pug. But here, see, Pug says trust would never be the same. But see, maybe we're failing the ultimate test. Hey, how you doing, Lost? Maybe we're failing the ultimate test, and that is that if we weren't half crazy, that we would forgive people and we'd learn from it. I just don't think I could do it. Now, see, Crunch and Munch says women do not ever cheat for physical reasons. That's very interesting. And, I kind of believe that's right. I kind of believe that's true. But Crunch and Munch, the physical reasons come into play later on, don't they? See, that's the thing. That's why, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that's how men think different than women. Yeah, I think that's a great comment. I think you're right. When they lose value and respect for their husbands. I think I would agree with that in a lot of instances. Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, and there are people that are just going to have affairs, and when you talk to them and they go to counseling and you try and figure out, you don't know. They're fucking crazy, man. I mean, these people aren't capable of, isn't a part of a bond in a relationship to be just like I tell these women that I meet, yeah, I'm fucking crazy. I know. I've been in a couple nut houses. Yeah. But I can't, I joke about it, but I can't come up to you and say, hey, I think you'd be a 10 if you had bigger tits. Now that's being honest, but it's also being very rude. So I'm not trying to sell being crude as being honest, but I tell them right out of the chute, you know what you're getting with me. You're not going to find any secret shit, bullshit on my phone, porn hidden under the mattress. It's all going to be right under the DVD player where I keep it here.
Come on, ladies. He's single, everyone, single.
Yeah.
Email him, Tom Reed.
Yeah, what's the holdup here? Yeah, I've got 48 women waiting in the private chat wanting to talk.
Send those DMs.
Yeah. Now, the problem is they're all over 300 pounds. The chances ever talking this shit and having what you think you'd like respond is fucking zero. And like I say all the time on YouTube, you can't set my ass up, man. I'm too damn experienced. If it's happened.
Really?
They've tried. Fuck yeah, man.
Oh.
They try and like set me up or send pictures. I tell them, man, I don't want any nude pictures, none of that shit. I don't want you calling me because I know better. Because if it was true and it was real, why aren't good looking women that, I don't know what they look like with a fake screen name? Why aren't they coming up to me in the supermarket and at the gas station and fucking Walmarts? You meet people, and so the real world, that never happened. So why would it all of a sudden start happening on YouTube channel? Because it's bullshit.
I know, like, in certain people, they just don't feel comfortable, like, just approaching other people in public places. Just a stranger, looking for. Dating is a very. It's not like you have a sign on your forehead that says "I'm single, ladies, come here." Like if you like this, come talk to me.
I'll tell you a funny thing that happened to me yesterday. I was getting a Starbucks coffee, and I was went out into the lot, and there's like this fucking van, like a van. What ambulances look like with the big square box on the back. And it didn't look like an ambulance when you were that close. I was parked right next to him, and the door opened. It was this good-looking blonde. There was kind of a heavy-set girl in the driver's seat. Cute faces, the really cute girls. And I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "Is this an ambulance, isn't it?" It's like, "Yes." I said, "Holy shit, man!" I said, "If I bang my forehead against the windshield right now, would you pick me up, take me someplace?" I said, I hope. I said, if I ever get an accident, you two pick me up. God damn, you women should be modeling. You're cute. I can't believe you're driving. I love to see you women in, what traditionally were men's positions. You guys are excellent. Really. And I think the real good looking blonde, of course, she's got 50 fucking guys asking her out every day. But the chubby one with the pretty face said, well, are you single? I said, yeah, but let me tell you, I'm old enough to be your grandfather. She said, I like older guys. So at her age range, in out of college and working all the time, she's lowered the bar and is probably not had much success looking for guys.
I think too is when you get to a certain age, people just already think that you're not single too. Like
Yeah.
it's not just like when you're younger, like everyone's kind of flirting with each other, this and that. And then the older you get, it's not quite like that. It's almost like a certain standard, like you have to be at certain places, go to bars, that type of deal.
I don't know this for sure, but I think the bar thing's, I never really went to bars much in it.
Yeah, neither do I.
I was like 25 before I started drinking. Yeah, I mean, which I haven't had a drink since April. I never had a problem with it, but I did like doing it. But you know what? Now that I know that my stomach problems aren't related to that quack doctor, he's the fucking problem. The medication he was giving me, I'm not going to go back to drinking. But I just love being on, doing late night chats, drinking a couple Dragon's Milks, but I'm not doing it anymore. And I also think that you can't get away with that shit getting older like you can when you're younger. I mean, even if you're not getting plowed, it's still a lot of empty calories, sugar. It's just not good for you.
Of course.
I had to poke a new hole in my belt.
Yeah.
But fuck it. And you know what other thing too? I'm on a good sleep schedule. I got a little off track last night, which when you're older, this is just my opinion, I think it's cortisol levels. Yeah.
Right. Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked me about Michigan hamburgers. I'll tell you, the best hamburgers out there in Michigan, I think, are Culver's. And they're kind of like Five Guys. There's so many good places you can get hamburgers now. It's ridiculous. It's not like the old days. I think McDonald's hamburgers are terrible now. But I've really backed off red meat too, because I didn't really know what was what. I just knew that when I ate fatty meat with that GI problem, that I didn't, it's like, Marty's like the nicest guy you'll ever meet in your life. Like, so is his wife. They're always complimentary. It's like all the weight I've lost, but that's not totally fair. Yeah. Thank you for the compliment, but I lost it because I didn't feel good. Yeah, it will, Mrs. Robinson. I lost it because I didn't feel good. Now I'm not, and I'm still losing it, but I'm feeling good. But if you'd have felt like I did for that long, you'd have lost 30 pounds in a year too. You're fucking afraid to eat anything.
Right.
I was smoking. I mean, how I used to smoke, and I still do it, but I do it for other people. None of that shit that I'm smoking is for me. It's because I was afraid to eat it. Now I think I could eat it, but you don't need to have a PhD in science to realize that red smoked meat is not good for you.
Right.
It doesn't mean it's going to kill you. Hey, Stephanie.
No,
doesn't mean it's going to kill you, but there are way better things out there. The last 2 days, all I've eaten is beans. Good beans, high protein, and a supplement. I'm really on this health kick. I'll tell you, I already can tell, like, big time. Like, my cardio's okay. I do walk a long way and at a fast pace, but my strength's a lot better. Fuck, I was thinking I was going to need to get a fucking block and tackle to get out of bed.
Wow.
Now it's like, so it's good. It's getting better. Here she is. Here's the crowning glory of the state of Washington.
Hey guys.
Hi, Stephanie.
I just got home. I didn't know you were live.
No, I just got my internet set up and was testing it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I saw your video about your router.
Yeah, it's a smoke. It's probably overkill, but it is overkill, but
that's great. No, I just got home. I had to have those damn tests today.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Well, what they did was they took all the blood pressure and ultrasound in my legs, and then I had to get on the treadmill, and then they had to take the blood pressure again in my legs. And then I see the the special. I see the doctor on Tuesday, but I asked the gal some questions,
Yeah.
and she did tell me a couple things, and it's not good. I don't have blood flow in my legs. My right leg is very bad.
Mm-hmm.
After I walked, I only had 41% in my right leg, and 86 in my left leg. And of course, you're supposed to have 100, Tom.
Yeah, but I don't
So,
think I think there is a cutoff for that. But I mean, I don't think too many people have 100 at your age, do they?
oh, I think she said 94.
That's what I thought. 94.
94 is okay. So, but I'm not gonna, I'm just, she's just the the tech person. So,
She'd get her fucking ass chewed if they knew she told you that.
yeah, and yeah, I don't think she's supposed to, because I said,
Right.
can you tell me anything? And she goes, well, I can give hints, she said.
No, if
Well,
they
of
knew she
course.
did that, they'd chew her ass out.
Oh, yeah, because of course my sister was in there with me, Tom, and she's asking her all kinds of questions, but yeah, so I'll find out what the doctor says on Tuesday. I go Tuesday.
Yeah, well, between now and then, just write down questions you have. This is what I don't worry about. I had a form of, I know it's crazy. I'm not like trying to make this sound better than it is, but I've had skin cancer, basal, squamous. I haven't had the ones that kill you, like melanoma or Merkel cell, which killed Jimmy Buffett. But light complected, sunburned a lot as a kid. And I had a really sweet oncologist because I had some skin cancer crop up last spring that was actually a form of leukemia. And
I remember you had a lot of that.
I wasn't feeling good at the time. It's like, fuck. I thought to myself, I swear to God, I thought to myself, great, leukemia. Fuck,
right.
I'll be dead in 9 months. That's exactly how I looked at it. I wasn't really upset about it at all. So I had to go see an oncologist, a cancer doctor.
Right.
As it turns out, the World Health Organization reclassified the definition of what I had as not leukemia anymore. It is a form of skin cancer. But, if you've got 10 million people that get it and 2 of them, it metastasizes, well, it's a form of leukemia. Well, that's long gone. There were only 2, and they recategorized it, so it's not really leukemia. But she was the sweetest, nicest, compassionate lady in the world. She said, you don't have anything to worry about. I pretty much knew that already doing my own reading. But I asked her while I was sitting there listening to her, I said, hey, how when somebody has like a terminal disease, stage 4, do you lay it on the line truthfully? She said, absolutely. She said, from day one in medical school, particularly with this kind of residency, they're not bullshitting you. Nobody's holding your hand. And what it does is they immediately switched from getting better to comfort as you live.
Yeah.
You're not going to get better, but we're going to keep you comfortable. But they do not bullshit people at all.
Oh, no, Tom, they don't, because, my first appointment with this vascular specialist, I like him so much. He was on it. He told me I could lose my toes right out before I even had any tests.
Yeah.
No, they tell you. And so, I've already got that implanted in my mind. Well, you know what? I can live without toes,
A lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I'm alive, but when it comes to limbs and shit like that, then I'm not even thinking about that shit, because
just wait and
that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. It's interesting to me how they didn't catch this earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm really pissed off. For 2 years, they've been telling me I have neuropathy, and no doctor, circulation, no, it's neuropathy. Send me to a diabetic doctor and neuropathy stuff, and now it's probably not even neuropathy now. Well, it's blood flow is what it is.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't like talking about all my freaking
No, but
problems.
hey, we wish the best for you, and I
Thank
would wait
you,
until
sir.
I heard it from the horse's mouth. And you have a
Yeah,
lot of
well,
time
thank
now.
you. I
Between
know.
now and
Thank
then,
you. Well, it helps to talk about it because then you don't worry so much. You keep everything inside. And, my sister, she always thinks of the worst, so it's nice to talk to people
why
that,
the hell did you take her with you?
what?
Why'd she go in there with you? Leave her in the waiting room.
Because that's how she is.
God damn, I'd say leave her. Make up some bullshit next time. The doctor just likes to talk one-on-one.
Well, she does. See, she doesn't trust me to tell her the truth
It's none of her
because
business.
I know, but I have lied to her in the past, and so now she, but no, she'll, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I don't know if I want her to go in with me on Tuesday because that's when I'll find out, what's really going
Yeah, I
on.
mean, she was your what do they call that? What do they call that? Like when you have somebody go to you with medical, like a child would, whose mother would go. There's a name for that.
Oh, like a caregiver or
Yeah, I mean,
something?
she's not that. I would already, between now and then, I would make up some reason why they want to talk to you.
Well, I know it, and
Because
she,
then when you bring her in there, it's twice as many questions. They're
I
busy.
know because
They're busy.
she is, she's the talker, and then the conversation gets going about her problems,
Oh, yeah.
and
No way. Yeah, we
yeah,
definitely want to bring her.
but I mean, I know she cares and worries because it's just her and I, that's our whole family, it's just me and her, so
But
but
you should have more
huh?
etiquette. She should have more consideration and etiquette for that if that's how she feels. So
Yeah,
she shouldn't be a pain in your ass when you take her someplace.
oh, my sister.
Yeah, she shouldn't. You shouldn't worry about her with you. It should be all support and
Oh,
keeping her
I
mouth
know
shut.
it.
You know,
I know. She's always been like, what's that word? The person that's,
pain in the
I
ass.
don't. She, no, stop. Pain in the, no, like worrying about everybody else. That's why I told her, worry about yourself.
Right.
She worries, but then, I come from a family of worriers.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, so I'm home. I get to go see my nephew's girls today. They need us to watch the girls after school for a couple hours.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, I'm excited because I don't get to see them as often as I do Sarah's kids. So
Right.
uh, that'll be fun later.
Yeah.
But
Boundaries.
Michelle, how have you been?
Oh, I've been good, Stephanie. I'm glad to hear that everything went well with your doctors.
Oh, yeah,
Sort of.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I can give you some advice. I just want you to think back of the great years you had of getting laid all the time and how much that
Oh,
means to you
gosh.
at this point.
Yeah, that's the only thing keeping me going.
Yeah, but a lot of people save it till the end, and for what?
Yeah, I know.
We're
Oh,
here.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, no. That's why, the young people, yeah, you got to do what you want to do because, they just don't listen when you get old. It's gone.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it sneaks up on you, doesn't it?
Oh, it sure does.
I know.
Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, look at your scares with that dumb skin cancer shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I know.
I know.
Where'd Michelle go? Did I scare her
No,
off?
no. I think she's just playing Russian roulette for a few minutes. She'll be right back.
That's what I might be doing.
Click, click. Then
Yeah.
you'll see the camera go to her, a blank wall, to her. And she'll get it together.
Oh.
Hi guys. Everything's great. The gun
Well,
will go off.
if I'm going to play Russian roulette, I'll make sure I do it on your panel.
Yeah, please do, man. That really get me some new subscribers. And after all, that's everything. Yeah. I'll make sure I have a screen recorder on so I can keep re-uploading it when they strike me.
When they strike you, make sure you record it, everybody.
Yeah, try and do it on Christmas Eve too, please.
Oh, God, Tom. No, I think New Year's Eve would be better.
That'd be a good one too. Yeah. Because then just for the family, they could always sell it as an accident with grandma. Yeah, you'd be fucked on Christmas Eve. It's like, why would you have a gun around Christmas Eve? Well, you're right. New Year's Eve makes sense. Grandma was just celebrating. She had about 9 margaritas.
Yeah. Tata got drunk and lost it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
I appreciate your consideration, and keeping the channel in mind.
Well, it was so cute. I wanted to tell you, Tom, the girls kept, the little ones kept, when you bought us dinner for my birthday, and they kept going, who's Tom? Who's Tom? And I kept saying, oh, my friend. Well, invite him over. I said, well, and so I was explaining. So I showed him some of your videos, and because they wanted to see who you were. And then, it was so cute. And they said, oh, that's him. And then Autumn, the 5-year-old goes, she says, he's old like you, Tata. I said, yeah, he's old man too.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's so cute.
Now, along the way, did you get to meet that girl that I talked to on the phone to get that gift certificate card, whatever it was, at the Mexican restaurant?
Oh yeah, and she was at the restaurant. That's one of the owner's daughters.
Yeah, is she as sweet in person as she seemed on the phone?
Oh yes, she is so cute. She's let me explain her. She's a little short Mexican gal.
Yeah.
She has blonde hair. She dyes her hair. Yeah. Real cute girl. She's probably maybe late 20s.
Yeah, she was a sweetheart on the phone.
Oh yeah. She is so cute. She only works there part-time.
Oh, okay.
That's why I had only all the years we've been going there, I'd only seen her a few times, and I didn't even know that was the owner has a lot of kids, and they all work at the restaurant.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she was very helpful.
Yeah, she was real sweet. Good. And so that was a nice time.
I know the doctor's orders were to quit smoking, of course, but how about drinking?
I don't know about drinking.
Yeah, well, put that on your list.
I will, but I don't drink that often. Well, if he says drinking's okay, I guess I'll be drunk every day.
Yeah, I don't see what drinking. I don't see how what drinking would have to do with it.
I'm not quite sure because, I bet a drink once in a while the way I do it would be fine.
Yeah, probably would. Yep. I bet Michelle was out there delivering things, getting people's packages to them.
Oh, was she?
I think so. I mean, I know she does that in the daytime sometime. Hey, this shows you how shit can happen, So, I live in a secluded place, right? I don't think anybody that I didn't know was coming has ever been down my driveway, right? And if you look out at my driveway, it looks like some nut lives there. No trespassing, turn around, stay out. I mean, you'd have to be fucking crazy to drive down here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I had and I may see 3 cars a month go down the road because it's way out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, why would you be here, right?
Right.
So I had a little beef with a guy in a gas station the other night, and it didn't seem like that big a deal. But, no one's ever come out here, and it was raining, and my internet wasn't working yet. So I was over at the other house, right? Well, I ordered this router, and the scheduled delivery was Wednesday, yesterday, right? So I'm sitting on the porch over there. It's raining, but it was a nice rain, like 68 degrees. And I'm sitting on the porch, and I see this car come flying down the road.
Oh, yeah.
Pull right into my driveway, drive right up to the house. And I'm thinking that may be this fucker from the gas station, right? Because he worked with a contractor that built this place. And I knew he was pissed. And you never know, what people are up to. What a coincidence, right?
Right.
So I said to Marty, hey, he gave me a pistol, and I came out and walked around the tree. But by the time I got here, the car was already leaving. So I thought, did they smash my windows in? What? Nothing, right? So I'm fucking thinking, this is really weird. This shows you how things happen. So I'm thinking, that's really weird. That must have been him. Who else? What a coincidence. About an hour later, I get a message. They tried to deliver my router.
I know.
And it was that fucking Amazon Flex shit, and it was just some person in a regular car.
Yes, I've had that before.
But there's a perfect example of how things are all set up. What I just told you, and I walk over, and they get out of the car, and I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing here?
Right.
I'm not stupid. I'm not going to start just shooting at a car, right?
Right.
But it shows you how things can get set up that aren't true at all. Now,
Tom, I know.
So I call fucking India. It's like, you guys said you weren't delivering this till Wednesday. He said, it's Tuesday. So I fuck around on the phone for 20 minutes. He clickety clicks. And I didn't know Amazon delivered shit through UPS. And I guess UPS is using regular cars now too. So I said, well, when am I going to get the thing? You weren't supposed to be bringing it till tomorrow. He said, well, they'll make a second attempt tomorrow. Well, I know better than to call up, but I did talk to somebody yesterday that delivers this shit for Amazon. And when you don't make a delivery, you have to take the packages back to the facility. Where up in Michigan, where I lived before, if they missed a delivery, that fucking thing was going to be packed in that truck somewhere. They weren't unpacking that truck and then repacking it again the next day to try to take it to you. So I thought, well, I'm not fucking with this. And I just hoped that this guy knew what he was talking about. They'll make another attempt yesterday. So I thought, well, I'm not going anywhere tomorrow because I want this damn thing. And if, I want to set this up. So I waited, nothing. Finally, night comes. I didn't even know that they delivered at night. I know it does get dark early, but I've never had anybody other than an Amazon truck for an Amazon delivery, or UPS truck for you come here. So it was just weird to me. So last night I'm fucking around. And I thought, well, I'm going to leave all the lights on because, if I'm just back fucking around in my bedroom, you would look like nobody's home. So I turned all the lights on. It looks like a fucking house showing or something, right? So I go in and I'm fucking around. I'm laying in bed reading. And I thought, I hope this fucker shows up, So Marty calls me. What do you want? Some wrench I had or something like that. I said, well, I'll walk it over. I walk out. There's the fucking router sitting right out in front of my door, not in a package. It's in the router package.
Right.
Nothing. Just sitting
there. Yeah, I know.
And it's like $800, which I don't really care. But I do know this from the post office. Once somebody drops something on your porch and they take a picture of it.
Yeah.
And somebody steals it, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked.
They say they delivered it. Now, I didn't really care. And after all, I got the router. And the likelihood of anybody stealing anything here is pretty damn low. But I was just surprised. Here you had got my number. You have my email. Why didn't you tell me yesterday you were in the neighborhood? Well, I guess who's going to carry around 150 phone numbers you don't need other than that for that night? But, if they'd have told me they were coming that night, I would have been ready. And here that gets dropped off. Nothing.
Yeah, I know, Tom. A lot of us, including people in the chat today, were with you that night.
Yeah.
And we were scared because, you live in an isolated area, some car like that coming up to your house,
Fast.
Yeah.
And there's been times where I'll walk at night and I pass my own driveway.
Yeah, see, I know. Very suspicious. But no, Amazon, I've gotten packages as late as 9:15 at night. So and they do deliver later. I've never had an Amazon driver not leave a package. They always just leave it right at your door and leave. But I'm thinking because yours was such an expensive product that that's why they went to try to redeliver. But I've never had them
And
redeliver.
have you had them delivering like just cars?
Yes, I've had just people. See, that's what Michelle does.
Yeah, so you can see how you can see how things can get set up, how police shoot people in their own home and shit, thinking it's the robber.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would have done the same thing like you. I would have walked over there with my big gun in my hand, say, "Well, who the hell are you?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And I was just happened to be sitting on the porch, and they pulled in like it was me. It's like, fuck, I've missed my own driveway. I mean, and who would know how to get in like that other than the guy that worked here I just had a beef with?
Right.
But it wasn't him.
Yeah. Oh,
so all
God,
of a sudden,
I know.
You get out, you're all hyped up, you fucking shoot somebody because they're in your driveway, and you find out it's some fucking mother with 8 kids that was working for Flex part-time, and I get fucking 100 years in prison.
Oh, no, I can see how accidents like that could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially, if, I'm an old lady and some guy gets out of his car and I live like you do. Oh, my God. I wouldn't hesitate to say, get the hell out of here. I'm going to shoot you.
There's a real cute Dallas or Houston police officer, blonde, that worked a double shift, that came home late and got off the elevator in her apartment complex on the wrong floor. Opened the door. The door was, it wasn't, I guess it couldn't have been locked, or it was something odd. She went to, 104, her apartment. Opened the door, a black guy was in there, and she shot him. She was on the wrong floor.
Oh, my God.
She just got out. She was in prison 6 years. Now she's a convicted felon.
Oh, my
I'll tell you
God.
what happened to me one time. I was a security guard at a complex while I was going to college. And, you're in these buildings. There's like 8 buildings, 4 floors. There's a million fucking apartments. And same shit. I was tired. I was going to school. I was working. And I had a master key, so I could get into apartments when I needed back then. For whatever reason, water pipe, nobody was home, shit like that. Live and well check, something like that. And I'm tired. And I end up getting in one of those buildings. And I went in, rather than going like the east side, I went in the west. So I go up to the 4th floor, walk down the hall, but I went in from the other end. So I thought I was going east and I was going west, or vice versa. You go to apartment 108 or whatever the hell it was. I open the door. It's a couple fucking on the couch.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I shut the door. And of course, they complained to management, and they wanted to know why I would be going into apartments that I wasn't supposed to. And I told them what I told you. And they all realized, actually, the maintenance men came to my defense, that over like working there 20 years, they'd done it fucking 10 times. It's hard to believe. How can your dumbass be on floor 9 when you think you're on floor 8? Well, you're tired. You're looking down. You're fucking around. The elevator dings. You look, you get out, and you walk up to 104. It happens.
Oh, yeah. Well, and look how many stories you read about drunk people going to the wrong houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The people come home and there's somebody in their bed.
Yeah, I know. Some drunk person.
Yeah.
I know.
But it goes to show you how accidents can happen,
Oh, I know. I have to say let's see, how long have I been carrying a gun? Maybe, 40 years.
Yeah.
I even in my 20s, I remember my dad gave me this little pea shooter, I called it, 22? A little 22,
Derringer.
Automatic.
Yeah.
And I always had it under the front seat of my car. He told me to keep it there, but my point is, 40 years of having a gun, I have never had to point it at anyone.
Yeah, well, they say, that's felonious assault.
Yeah, I know.
I'll tell you another thing I did one time. I was like on and off. I was living in Chicago. I was fucking around with my wife, whether we were going to get back together, worried about her fucking around down there, and they're fucking around 1,000 miles away. That's a whole new animal. You're not driving through the house by the house, right?
Right.
I'm doing this fucking surveillance, in Indiana, down around Hammond, Indiana. 8 fucking days, 10-hour surveillances. I forgot what the bill was. It was a lot, like fucking $5,000 or something. Here's an interesting story for you. This shows you how shit goes. So I'm at the fucking house 8 days, given this big bill, and I send it to the insurance company. The attorney, it's a guy on disability, right? I get him doing all sorts of shit, right?
Right.
I send it to the fucking attorney. The attorney realizes when he gets the videotape that it's not the right guy.
What?
But he takes the videotape anyway, knowing it's not the right guy.
Yeah.
He ends up getting the guy I should have been watching. Benefits canceled.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
I videotaped the wrong guy for a week.
Okay.
When the videotape was sent to the attorney working on the file for the insurance company, he knew that was not the right person on the video.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that actually fucking happened.
Oh my. And he got away with it? I mean.
Yeah. But what I did is I felt bad about it, and that was a super good client. So I wrote him a check for like fucking whatever the fuck it was. It was a lot, like $5,800 or something like that. It seemed like it was multiple surveillance. I remember writing a check for like $11,000, which is a fucking killer, because I had done it like 3 fucking times. But it was the whole time while I was like I was one street over.
Wow.
And I wrote them, I paid them back, and they said I didn't have to. But man, how the fuck you gonna do that? When you fucked up that bad.
Yeah,
like
I know
Infidelity said he used to deliver pizzas and went to the wrong house a lot. It can happen.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? They eventually ended up, you don't always get, sometimes a claims examiner will want to give a different agency a file that somebody else worked just because you do things differently. Maybe we'll get a better result. They gave it to another agency, and that other agency was at the wrong house too.
Oh my God.
It was one of these fucking deals, like it was James Court, James Lane, James fucking Expressway. It was 3 names for 3 roads, right in the same thing. And when you used your GPS to get there, it took you to the fucking wrong one.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm not making excuses, but after that, there was multiple ways that we verified we were at the right damn place. Lane, road, avenue, all that shit. It never happened again. But that was an expensive lesson. But that shows you that fucking lawyer knew that tape was not of the right guy and used it to get the other guy terminated benefits.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty shitty.
Yeah, isn't it though?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And, if they'd have got an anonymous phone call, hey, that's not the real guy. They didn't know where that came from.
Yeah, so I know it. Well, I don't blame you for feeling bad. I would have felt bad too.
Yeah, just fucked up big time. But I felt, I fucked up. Yeah, and I'm gonna pay him back. But that was that was a lot of time I spent where I ended up working for fucking free. But hey, that's the cost of
right. Yeah.
And they said I didn't need to pay him back, but I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. I felt better paying him back than just thinking about fucking up that bad.
Yeah, and I know.
They got to use it as if I had the right guy.
Yeah, I know it.
God damn it.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, life is like filled with
that would be my luck. That'd be my freaking luck.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And a lot of times, like the claims person, they don't know what they look like. They just know their age, and everything fit: the age, He was living there by himself. There was no wife. There was no kid. If I'd have saw a 22-year-old girl come out 7 in the morning and head to work, well, I'd start thinking, God damn, am I at the right house? Why is there a 22-year-old girl there? Well, you're
Now,
in the wrong fucking house, but it didn't. Everything kind of jived with the wrong address.
well, see, I think, that's what the government needs to do. They need to hire people to go out and investigate these people claiming disability.
Oh, good luck.
I know.
They say
I
that
know.
fraud, when I was doing a lot of fraud, they were like balls out to catch these people. I mean,
Right.
when enough things added up that they wanted to hire a guy like me, they didn't care what it cost. Where now, over the years, that piece of pie is so small because what insurance companies have done, self-insureds and TPAs, third-party administrators, that means the company has the money, but they hire someone to process the claims. Now
Uh-huh.
they calculate fraud into the premium. So when you see your neighbor that you know on disability chopping wood, they
Yeah.
don't give a fuck because you're paying for him ripping you off from day one.
Well, I hope maybe when Trump gets into office, it's not going to be so easy for these people to claim disability from anxiety and
Right.
shit like that.
No, I think it will change.
I hope so, because no, don't get me wrong. People who need disability,
No, I'm with
Tom, I
you too.
am
Yeah,
all for
same here.
that.
Yeah.
And people who need help from the government, like I've told you, Sarah, she gets a food card for her kids. No, I believe that, but I really believe that the working poor are the ones that should get help. They're out there working, trying to make it. And if they need a little help, yeah, take some money out of my check. I'll help them. It's these people that just don't want to work. They're in their 30s and 40s, and they claim to have anxiety, and so they can't go out to get a job.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, come on, I've lived with anxiety my whole life, and I've worked I've worked my whole life.
Yeah.
No. But hopefully that'll change too.
Yeah.
Get these losers
And
out
you
there.
look like when they came out to like Chris, he's a fraud.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's a fraud.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
There's no reason. He's a physically able man.
yeah, he works side jobs. He moves himself.
Yeah, that's bullshit, man. Bullshit, big time.
He wasn't rubbed enough as a baby.
Yeah. Or they claim they have that. A lot of people have that attention disorder.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that, but they have jobs. They're not on disability because of it.
Right. Yep. And you found out when they made those whistleblower laws, all the bullshit that was going on. Boeing had a problem with that. There's a couple employees that ratted them out for falsifying those records on that 737 MAX, where the autopilot took them into the drink, killed them all.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's powerful, but it's not 100%, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, what was my nephew was telling me Boeing's gonna be making a new Dreamliner.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet you it's 2-engine though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I wish I could remember,
but are over.
But he was all excited about it. Yeah, they're going to come out with the Dreamer or Dreamliner or something, a new plane.
You look at. I think it would have been super interesting working there. I mean, when you take an idea like that and you put it on paper. And it's got electric in it. A fucking huge thing flies. People sitting in comfortable chairs watching TV, going to Europe. It's got to be a great feeling to just see that thing roll out of there and it actually works.
Oh yeah. It was very exciting watching the planes come together and stuff, Tom. Yeah. Oh, it was. Yeah, it was very exciting.
When you worked there, could you go out and watch like when they took one off for the first time or they took it to deliver it to a customer?
Oh yeah, they have a big. It's like a big party event type thing. Yeah, when they roll it out. Oh
Do people
yeah.
like really feel good about working there and everything?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it gives you a sense of you really accomplished something. And it gives you that feeling of, like you're not working for nothing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It just
Yeah.
amazes me. It just what amazes me is where they get the people. Like you think if they brought it out on the ramp and the fucking tail fell off, that would make sense.
Oh.
But they have that many people come together.
Oh, thousands. Yeah.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
actually like works is the most impressive thing to me.
Yeah. I
I mean, they
know.
got like a whole damn city in this thing going to Italy or some shit. I mean,
Oh,
there's
I know. I
400
know
people. It's
it.
nuts, man.
Yeah. No.
And everything they're
Yeah.
talking to people, and the jets are working, and you wouldn't even think of something like that used that much fuel could put enough fuel into it to make it across to Europe.
Oh yeah, I know. It's amazing. It
It
really
seems like
is.
a video game.
Yeah, I know. It
Now, would
does
you
seem
guys all
unreal.
maybe like on the promo bandwagon where you get little stickers for your bumper and shit, like that you felt proud to work for Boeing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and they used to give everybody the little model airplane,
Yeah,
of the new planes and
yeah,
stuff, and coffee mugs, and I mean
yeah,
over the years. Oh
yeah.
yeah, they sure
Oh,
did. Now I don't know if it's like that anymore,
yeah.
uh, but oh yeah, yeah.
Well, they got to be happier, even though it's a liberal state. They got to be happier than hell that Trump got in.
Yeah. Well,
He'll
we
cancel
had
all that Airbus shit. I don't think
oh,
that's
I
fair. You know,
know.
Airbus is subsidized by the taxpayers in the UK. So when they run a deficit or an engine doesn't work, or you spend a bunch of shit on a prototype you can't get approved, they don't give a fuck. Just charge it to the taxpayers. But when you're a private company dealing with somebody like that overseas, and I know on the some of the Airbus, like the 320s, not only would they give
Uh-huh.
you a good deal on it, hey Jeff, not only would they give you a good deal on it, they'd send some motherfucker over here and put them up in a rent by the month, and he'd do free maintenance on it for the first 2 years. How in the hell are you going to compete with that over here?
Oh, I know.
And the taxpayers were paying his salary. I mean, it's bullshit.
That
I mean, there's
is.
a big cost sometimes for getting shit cheaper places, and I think that's what Trump's going to put an end to.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you have people come on the chats like, oh, I really don't want fucking Walmart going up. Well, tough fucking shit, man. I mean, there's no free lunch. Something's got to, it's going to cost more to produce it here, but I'm willing to pay it. Shit, man, this place is going to wasteland. Going to hell. No jobs, good paying jobs. I have no problem with it because I understand how economics works and infrastructure and all that shit. I mean, I was stupid like that too for a part of my life where, you're running around getting there. I'm conscious about it now, which is why I still buy books at Barnes and Noble and don't order everything used off eBay or Amazon. Because if I buy everything I get from there online, then these places are going to go out of business. So do they cost me more? Absolutely. I just bought a book the other day. It was a third more with the discount, discount was a third more to buy it to them. But you know what I got to do? When I got to go in there, I got to look at books. I got to get a coffee while I was there. I got to peruse books for an hour and a half, pick out a book I like. And I'm willing to pay a third more for a new book because I want them to stay in business. This is the way it works.
Right.
Yeah, you just can't have it both ways. People like these fucking crazies that we had on here. It's like, oh, I want to shop local. Yeah, bullshit. And if you want to shop local, why are you going to the biggest main city near where you live at fucking Costco and shit? You're full of shit.
Right.
They'll tell us it's like Hollywood actors and actresses. They live in their $20 million mansion, $5 million jet. And they're going to tell us we need to drive electric vehicles. Fuck you.
Yeah. And tell us who to vote for.
Yeah. It's nonsense, man. I mean, it's a great idea, but let's face it, man. They've basically barely increased electric vehicles over the years. You got a shit ton of money. You're rich. You live in San Mateo, California, and all you got to do is go up, drive a mile to get your fucking $1,500 bottle of red wine. You got it made.
Right.
But if you're a working guy in a cold climate, a fucking Tesla, you might as well get a horse.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And that's
I know
the
it.
thing that I find super interesting here. And that is that Trump was an anti fucking electric car guy. And then, you know, everybody's got a price. Every single woman that comes on the chat, if I had an unlimited amount of money, I could write them all a check for a blowjob as soon as we negotiated the rate.
Yeah, maybe even me.
Yeah, 500 would be disgusting. 1,000, no way. 1,500, could you pay more?
Well, I need a car, Tom, so it'd be a couple thousand.
Yeah. Trump didn't. He thought electric cars weren't too bad when he thought he could get his support.
Yeah.
We'll be lucky if those presidential limousines aren't electric.
I know. I'll be right back.
Yeah. You just never know, you know. Yeah, nuclear power. Absolutely right, man. The only thing now is you got so many idiots out there, at least with the submarines and the battleships and the power plants. You know, you can buy 10,000 acres, fence it off, and make it as safe as possible. You know, nobody's running into each other with nuclear powered stuff, but I'm all for that too. It's clean power. It's the last resort. You know, absolutely right. You look at places where, like, we have a huge one here, Savannah Power Plant. Not here, but you know, it starts in Augusta, in between Augusta and Savannah. Fuck yeah, man, they'd be fucked without that thing. You know, it's funny. Sometimes I keep an eye on books, and I'm not really into technical books that much. Science books, yeah, medical stuff I like, but like when you get into power plants. But I knew the book was worth about $200 used because they didn't print that many of them. And even though liberal institutions traditionally publish a lot of good books, I support them too when it comes to that, because if they're not money making ventures. If it wasn't for MIT and Stanford and the University of Chicago, there's all sorts of great scientific shit we would never be able to research and read about because the books don't make any fucking money. So when I saw that book, I bought it. It was $19 and super interesting. And if you look, that was a time when the bunny huggers and the tree huggers were really anti-nuclear, and they built it anyway. But it's interesting. They have a big offset chapter about what they had to do for the area to be able to build the plant. And it's a bit, hey, Mark, it ended up being 5,000 acres for bird nests, 1,000 fucking acres for fucking some rare big dicked squirrel. I mean, a lot of good came along with being able to do this. So I'm all for a nuclear plant. Yeah, what if it leaks? What if it does? How about if we just don't do anything and we just get wool blankets? I mean, it's just not practical. You know, wind turbines are a fucking joke. That's all political. Solar panels are fucking bullshit. The most efficient one of them all is water, and that's controversial too. I mean, unfortunately, just like anything, I mean, if you keep this crazy liberal mantra and project it in the future, these crazy motherfuckers did not want us to use oxygen in another 50 years. That's how nuts they are. So we're looking for a good time. Yeah. Oh yeah, well, that's one good thing with Trump. You know, I'm the same way too. You know, I like nature and I try and like keep it, like help it and stuff like that. But when it comes to either me living in a new house or a fucking tent, fuck nature. I mean, I'm the top of the damn chain here, okay? Same with like eating. You know, I don't like the idea. I don't hunt. I wouldn't enjoy it. But I like chicken. I've cut back on meat, but mainly for health reasons, which is a good side thing. You know, I'm all for it to a certain extent, but when it comes to me or them, it's going to be them. And when it comes to me, you know, eating, well, I'm sorry, you're a chicken. I mean, I'd love to rock you to sleep every night, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to deep fry you in a humane ways. It's ethics. You know, I'm going to tell the chicken, hey, look over there. He's going to get his head chopped off from behind. He's not going to be like tortured up until the day he dies and look forward to it. You got to do things humane. Yeah, Ontario 3. Yeah. Yeah, no, they work. They're very good. Yeah, I mean, and there are certain things that I don't eat. Foie gras, the way that what they do to those ducks. I don't eat veal. There's some things I've drawn the line. When I'm telling you, when I go to Athens and I see a bunch of fucking chickens in those little cages on those trucks just going down the roads, like, and pigs bother me even more because pigs are smarter than dogs. And to be a cold day, and they know when they're getting loaded in that fucking truck that this is not good. It's stress. They don't know if it's good or bad. They just know they're stressed. And that shit bothers me. This is why you have an individual choice. You can choose how you want to live your thing. Now, I have a leather belt, yeah, and I'm sure that the fucking hide that was used to make that belt, it wasn't a good day for them. But look, it's like breathing oxygen. I'm on the top of the food chain. I don't want to make excuses for being a human instead of a beef cattle. It just worked out this way. Sorry, we need to eat, you know? Oh, Pennsylvania. Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm all for it. But you'll get the lesbians, the hairy-lighted lesbians out there, and they're going to be picketing, and they don't want it. You know, yeah, okay. And there is risk, but like everything else. I mean, why don't we just get rid of cars so nobody gets killed in a car accident anymore? Why don't we not let fucking children swim in the water because they might drown? It's fucking nuts. You know what I mean? It's like crazy. It goes, how about we don't make bicycles anymore? Because sometimes kids get hit on bicycles. I mean, it's just a crazy logic. You know what I mean? Fucking nuts. Fish. I quit fishing because I eat fish, you know, but I guess I'm removed far away from it now. It doesn't bother me if I'm eating a fucking McWitch or whatever they call those sandwiches at McDonald's. I didn't jerk the fucker out of the thing and watch him suffocate. That happened to me in Florida. I went fishing with a neighbor, caught mahi-mahi, which is the fish version of the dolphin. Those things, you pull them out of the water and they turn the most vibrant, beautiful rainbow colors as they're suffocating. I found out later and I thought, yeah, fuck this. The guy commented to me, he said, aren't they beautiful? It's like, yeah, fuck, what makes them turn like rainbow like that? Yeah, they're dying. Okay, would I eat a mahi-mahi sandwich today? I would. Do I want to catch one? I don't. So it's like all this bullshit. It's like sitting around wondering who your wife lost her cherry to. Drive you fucking nuts. You know, you're trying to like sit there as a male and you're thinking to yourself, God damn, I wonder how many times she got that big old fucking 9-inch Johnny Holmes cock. And then you're thinking, well, that was then. I didn't know her then, but it still bothers you. And then you go to the psychiatrist and he said you can't control what you didn't know. And then was there a loving relationship? It's like the good, white, beautiful high school prom queen. Just the stunningly gorgeous all-A student that falls in love with the 10-inch dick black mandingo rapper. What's left for the parents to say? They beat their heads against the wall. They want to know what they did wrong. They don't want to be racist. Their daughter's getting railed with this big jumbo piece of beef. So what do they all say when the dust settles and there's not a fucking thing they're going to do about it because the daughter's an adult? They say they don't mind because they love each other. What's fucking left? Of course your daughter loves getting that big old mandingo cock, just like your wife did. But it wasn't like shoved in your face like that. So you got to say, it's like, and then you got your fucking fingers crossed. You're hoping when their rap career dies that they're going to have some other kind of career, you know? It's like the biggest fucking thing, the first fucking thing you ask after you know they're getting railed is like, does the guy have a job, you know? Fuck yeah. Oh, they love each other, you know. And for some reason, if somebody can help me through this, I'd appreciate it. The kids are good looking. You know, the kids are good looking. These mixed race kids, just a perfect skin tone, you know. And the girls I know 2 of them down here, and they're just beautiful girls. And they got the white hair too. You know, that's a real problem for black women. I kind of feel sorry for them. I mean, when there's 10,000 people in your high school and you're a black female and everybody's got the same hair, it kind of fucking gets you. Where, you know, And they get it straightened and colored, but that's expensive, man. It is. I didn't realize how expensive it is to straighten hair and keep it colored. It's a lot of money. It's nuts. Yeah, nuclear power plant. Yeah, it happened down in Monroe. Yeah, you're right about that, Larry. Yeah. So these are all things you think about, but we try to bring it to the truth. People don't really want the truth all the time, though. You know what I mean? It's just something you gotta fucking live with. You know? You just like, fuck, man. There's nothing you're gonna fucking, your mind changes when there's nothing you're gonna do about it. It's like I know some guys, they don't care about any of the sex that their girlfriends or wives had before they met them. Doesn't bother them at all. Where me, it used to like bother me. Not anymore, because at this stage of the game, holy shit, man. They had as many dicks sticking on them as they had stuck in them. They looked like porcupines. Fuck. You got to look at it in an academic sense. Like humans require intimacy, and intimacy involves sex. And they have sex before they met you. But it's just really, it's always been hard for me to just accept my significant other getting railed and her head just getting banged against a headboard with anyone other than me. Call me a weirdo. Oh, that's great, Larry. That's good. Is there still sun downtowns? That's a good question, John. What do you mean by that exactly, John Boy? What do you mean by that? These are all things that's fun to talk about. You just don't know, It's like, I tell women that I'm friends with, I tell them, hey, look, it's not anybody's business what you did before you were with the guy you're with now. Just say this. This will help everything, I think. Bias, don't take my advice. Just tell them that, you don't like to discuss personal sexual experience before you met them. I mean, don't be saying, well, you got double penetrated twice and it was great. Just keep your fucking mouth shut. Just say you had loving relationships, and don't tell them about the 25 fucking thousand orgasms you had with a guy that's never had a job. Just keep your fucking mouth shut. Some big dick motherfucker that made your girlfriend come 10 times in a row before lunch every day. Just don't ask, don't tell. I don't want to know. Would you agree with that, Michelle?
Yes, don't ask, don't tell. That's perfect, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to know about some new guy's sexual experience, do you?
No.
Thank you. Would that bother you, Stephanie?
What's that, Tom?
If you started a new relationship with a male, would you want to know about all the girls he'd screwed before he met you?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So
Wow.
don't you think it's a good idea to just if women ask my advice, which is rare, I tell them, don't go into it. Just politely say that, all those times you got double penetrated, keep that to yourself. Just tell them that you had loving relationships and you don't want to discuss something that happened before you met them and you love them very much, and let's move forward.
Right. Yeah.
And under all circumstances, do not tell them about the 20,000 orgasms you had with a guy that didn't work.
Right. And, and people tend to, I remember going out with guys and they have to talk about their ex-girlfriend all the time.
It's rude.
I know. It's like, why? I don't want to hear about it.
Right.
Or
how about
I remember that.
How about you get in the bedroom and you're both nude and he starts talking about what great blowjobs the ex used to give him?
Oh, well, that's a deal breaker there.
Thank you. Yeah, right on.
Oh, shit. I would be dressed so quick.
Yeah, but what a shame. What a shame to break a deal in that moment.
Too bad.
Yeah, right. But this is all, people get sloppy. They get stupid about this shit.
Yeah.
Don't divulge too much.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But when you get to be our age, though, Tom.
Oh, shit. Oh, God.
Yeah. Right. I want to think about all those times.
Me too. You don't want to hold hands with some guy in the assisted living care facilities that's
no.
7 inches?
I'd rather play bingo.
Yeah, I know. Right.
I love it.
Shit.
Right around the corner, Michelle. Don't laugh too hard.
I'm not laughing at her. I think it's fun. I think I like it. I don't know.
I tell you all the time, Michelle is getting better about this. She's more receptive to learning. I tell her she's still got quite a few cards in her deck, Stephanie.
Yeah.
And she needs to play these right. Just like poker.
Well, yeah, Michelle's only 40 years old. Yeah.
But this is a crucial time for her on how her life's going to end up.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, I think with guys and girls too. Although I still think, and you may disagree, and it's not because I'm biased and I'm a male, but that I could never keep from being a male and probably being biased. But right. I still think that males have an advantage later in life of getting more suitable partners than females, because a guy always has the guys always has the shot at wondering how their day went and being kind and loving. He can get away with not being the best looking guy in the world. Where men seem to be attracted to attractive women, and when that's out the fucking window, to me, it seems, my experience, that there's really sometimes no making up for that.
No, because, I mean, unless you get a bunch of surgery and all that, women, we look old. I mean, there's no getting around it. I mean, if you looked at my young picture and my picture now, you would think, my God, I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you agree though that older men stand a better chance of getting attractive women in relationships than vice versa? I think the men seem to do better than the women.
Well, the men, yeah. Now the men, if they have money, they can get younger women, prettier women, but they still have to have that money.
But I had an old Jewish lady tell me one time that when you have an older man and a younger woman, that's the best example of honesty you'll ever find.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, a poor old man isn't going to get a beautiful young girl.
Right.
So,
but money
so
matters,
I think men can use their money. Women, well, I suppose women could too, though, because
they don't seem to want to at the same rate.
No, they don't.
They'd rather read a good book.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything wrong with a young woman giving that young, tight, beautiful body up to a guy that's old that had money?
Do I think there's something wrong with it?
Yeah, if she decides that, I want this lifestyle and I'm willing to.
Well, no. Well, of course not. They're two consenting adults. I mean, no. I don't know.
All with experience, when you get our age, looking back, that's probably as good a reason as any to give it up.
Yeah, I don't know. As a young girl, though, I don't think I could have done it, Tom.
Really?
No, I don't think so. I mean, old men used to gross me out.
Okay. No, it's good.
And they still gross me out, Tom, and I'm old. Oh, God. So, I mean, so my attitude for old men has not even changed. And I'm old.
Words of wisdom.
God. I know. Isn't that crazy, though?
Yeah.
I mean, what right do I have? I mean, I'm an old woman myself. What right do I have to say an old man grosses me out?
No, you do, though. That's good. That's lovely.
But I mean, I'm just saying.
Right.
I don't know.
But when they wheel you up to the Chippendale stage with no arms, no legs, and no eyes,
stop.
You still want to be there.
If that happens, Tom, you're going to send me $100 bills so they'll come up to me.
I'd be glad to.
I can put it in my mouth.
You'll be able to tell music that you're there.
I put the money in my mouth. Come over there.
Fucking A.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. You'll be able to tell by the music that you're there.
Well, no, wouldn't I be on disability?
This is why it's important to have these discussions.
Oh, yeah.
But isn't that interesting that's kind of true? I mean,
Yeah.
The old men still grow shit. See, that's a part of your brain that developed that's still there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
No, it's weird though. I know it's crazy.
I know. I don't, just thinking back, going out and we'd see these older guys, out and looking at us and stuff. And we'd be going, who are you looking at?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's good though that you recognize this.
Oh yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. It'd be a good time out, just having fun and do that. Like you say yourself, even like being older, I mean, you still like young, good-looking guys.
Oh sure, I love looking at young, cute guys. Of course I do.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
imagine, like I tell people all the time, can you imagine going to like a bar just like that, or a strip club, men's strip club, and they were all in their 60s? Yeah, it'd be fucking empty. They'd be out of business in no time.
Oh yeah, I know it. Oh, of course.
No, it has evolved into what people want, which is why there's a market for it.
Right.
Yeah, you got like 15 fucking guys that look like they ought to be on the front of exercise magazine dancing. I mean, what's better? What could be better?
Oh, I know. It's like if the Chippendales came out with the old men. Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly right. No, I mean, for you to go in there and spend a few hours, it'd take you you'd have to live 10,000 years to see that all at once. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, like you would say, there's somebody for everything, right, Tom? Somebody would like that, right?
Yeah. Somebody would know. There would be. Actually, there's a famous strip club in Atlanta. There's a famous strip club in Atlanta that's all women over 60. But I think that's just like some fetish bullshit. Mm-hmm. But it's possible. That's why when I was trying to get Stephanie to, she was getting down on herself and looking for like some part-time work. There's somebody out there that'd like to see her on OnlyFans.
No, there is.
Yes, there is. Yeah. No, it's but they're right. Odd like fetishes that aren't the norm.
Oh, yeah, that would not be normal.
No, but fetishes are like that. They're not normal. They don't make sense. But I guarantee you now, if you opened an OnlyFans thing and you did whatever you did on there, you'd have guys paying you like $100 an hour to do whatever, and they wouldn't consider paying a young, good-looking girl. That's not what gets them. It's very complex, the human mind, on what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
And you can't always answer. It's like, I think, why am I like this? Fuck, I don't know. This is just the way my brain turned out. Why do some guys like big tits? Some guys don't. I mean, big asses, small asses. Look at the difference between ass size and what black guys and white guys like. The huge difference. I mean, you see these successful, like high-paid black athletes. They got some cute in the face white girl with the ass as wide as a fucking Mack truck. Look at these Kardashians. They appeal to that market. Big, fat fucking asses.
Oh God.
No, but I don't think they're attractive. But little tiny, like 19-inch waist and a pants. You wonder where you get pants for. But there's people that like that. White guys don't seem to like that too much. I don't know what it is. But it's very consistent, man. Since I've been on this earth, the black guys like those big asses. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know too much about that.
Larry says this. It's interesting he brings this up because I've seen some hot young girls that dyed their hair gray, and they look good as hell. Why is that?
What?
He said, why do young kids dye their hair gray? I've seen some young girls, though, super cute, that dyed their hair gray, and they looked really good.
Well, that's because they're young.
That was the trend. That was the trend for a while. It was called Granny Gray.
That's what they called it.
Yeah, it was an actual, like, you could go to the salon, and that it was in style for a long time.
Is it gone now?
There's still people that rock it. Oh yeah, there's still young people that want the gray hair. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Huh.
That's interesting though, because you don't want gray hair on your 60-year-old girlfriend.
Right.
I think there's older women who look good with gray hair.
I saw one the other day when I bought those weights. Lady was probably 60 and she had like great gray hair.
Yeah, like
but, women's hair gets thinner as they get older too. A lot of them.
Oh, it sure does.
Yeah, and this lady had like paintbrush, straight, nice gray hair, and she was probably 60.
Oh, I'm jealous. Yeah.
But it's genetic. The thing that I can't quite understand about hair is that, it's dead when it grows out of your scalp. Why does it look so much better with some people than others? What changes in the chemical composition?
I don't know. See, I've just got, I dyed my hair blonde my whole life, right?
Yeah.
And just the last, 8 years, I let it go, and it's mousy brown with gray in it. But I was thinking about just doing all of it gray too. But I don't know.
You should go for it, Stephanie. That's what my mother is doing right now, and it actually looks really good on her. Like, it looks. I think it looks.
But my hair, like Tom said, my hair has gotten so much thinner. I mean, every time I clean my hairbrush, there's just so much hair in my brush. It's terrible.
But I think that's just that estrogen trailing off.
Yeah, well, see, my mother, she lived to 84. She had a bald spot on the top of her head. That's why I bought her all those cute hats all the time. And I'm not, but my hair is getting thin on top like that, and I'm thinking, oh God, I don't want to, that. I think that's a genetic thing too.
It is. I knew a girl in college. It was a waitress at a place that I went to. I later found out they said she was Indian. I never knew that then. I dated her for a while. She looked like Marie Osmond with the biggest fucking tits you've ever seen in your life. But real thin hair. And this is like at 19, at 20. But I didn't mind. I stepped right up to that plate.
Oh God.
Dumber than a fucking box of rocks. But super cute. But the hair was a big, it was very noticeable. She ended up marrying a doctor. He let the hair slide too.
Yeah, see, I never had real thick hair anyway. I never got, my dad had beautiful, thick, curly hair.
My dad had hair like George Hamilton to the day he died. Ronald
Reagan. Yeah. My dad did too. But I got my mother's thin hair is what I got.
Yeah, that's two of us.
Yeah.
My dad said one time drunk that by the time I was 25, I'd be combing my hair with a washcloth. Unfortunately, he was right.
He was right.
Yeah. When I was banging my wife's girlfriend, that's how I met her. We were laying on the couch one night. She was rubbing the top of my head in college. She said, your hair's getting thin in the back.
Oh, God.
You don't see the back, when you're young and you don't know you're losing your hair yet.
Right.
And I couldn't wait to get home. I was standing on my fucking head in that sink in the bathroom, trying not to turn myself into a quadriplegic. And I had a mirror up and down and sideways, and it's like, God damn it, it is. Well, that was the beginning.
Now,
That was the beginning of the end.
can you tell me why do men have such a thing about going bald?
Because you think it's going to cost you fucking women.
Oh,
When you're 21 and your hair's getting thin, and you see all these Fabio motherfuckers with these good looking, yeah. And really, if there were 1,000 guys out there, right, and 1,000 girls, and 20 of the 1,000 guys were bald, they're not gonna at that age. Hair is a big deal. Now you're always going to find an anomaly. You're going to find, like my wife, you're going to find good looking women that don't give a fuck. But overall, and even if you look at dating profiles, overall, most women don't want bald guys.
Okay.
It just doesn't. Some people get away with it. Most don't. Like if you've got a round head and
I think the thing is with men, I think if you just go straight bald, you know how it is like when men start to bald and everything, and then you try to cover it up. You know, you'll comb your hair a certain way.
That's what. No, that's it. That was my thinking. It's like I'm not doing any of this homeowner shit.
Right. I think you should either just go bald or go home. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, why fuck around?
Yeah.
I mean, it got to the point where, my goddamn barber'd milk out a fucking haircut, man. Drop his fucking clippers. I mean, the fuck do we do? This should be done in about 30 seconds.
Right.
It finally got to the point when I go to a barber, it's like, hey, I'm going to tell you straight up, man. No fucking around. Here's another $20. Cut this shit ASAP. Fuck, like I just sat down.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of there. But when you come in there, they know male egos are sensitive, so they want to fuck around and bzz, 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 be there a fucking hour cutting these goddamn peach fuzz.
Right. I
mean, they get these fucking, expensive barber shears, like the $200 pair that cut shit really good at the end, the tip, and all that shit. He'd be fucking around trying to cut one of those peach fuzz.
Oh, God.
I said, why don't you just get a fucking fan and blow it off, motherfucker? I've been here an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, they want you to get
young and you're young and you're losing your hair. You don't want to be fucking going underwater. None of that shit. I don't want to go in any of those fucking stores with that. They call it negative airflow. If you go, you don't see them a fly flying around in McDonald's too often. There's a system for that. They pressurize the inside of the building. And if you have two doors, sometimes you open the first one, you feel it goes whoosh. You hear wind.
Yeah.
That's that pressurized system. It keeps flies from being able to head into the restaurant. Cheap places, mom and pop places with just one door, fucking all sorts of shit flying around in there. Because as soon as the door opens, they head in there. But not in expensive places. You won't go into a Carrabba's or an Olive Garden, see a fucking fly flying around your fucking bread. Because they know they don't want that shit, fruit flies, none of that stuff, landing on some fucker's pasta. So when you're young and you're losing your hair, you avoid those places too. Where you open up and there's that vacuum and you open that second door. Yeah, you're fucked.
Oh, God.
And some guys, they say it doesn't bother. Yeah, bullshit. Who the fuck wouldn't like a full head of nice hair? It's like, yeah, anything like that. I mean, there's a way that this stuff gets to where what's considered desirable and what isn't. And your odds start to dwindle when you're a young guy losing your hair.
Right.
And even if it isn't completely valid, there's an element of truth to it, and that. And it isn't like, you're just meeting women and screwing them an hour after you knew them. It's the same old fucking thing. And you're getting headed off at the pass sometimes when you shouldn't because you're going bald. They're never going to fucking tell you that. They'll tell their girlfriends, but they're not going to tell you.
Right.
When I was 25, no one was running their fingers through my thick head of hair.
Right.
Yeah, and some people that really bothers. It's the same thing with men. Big asses, cellulite, no tits, pimples. Baldness is no different, and maybe the worst of them all for a young male guy. Larry said he had gray hair in the 8th grade. There's a name for that. There were a family that were real Catholic religious nuts that lived up the street. And both of the girls were fucking hot. And both of those girls started going gray in 1920. But they were fucking like rocking bodies, great bodies. And I figured out later in life, like 20 years later, that the mom was probably just like that. But it never occurred to me growing up in that neighborhood. But gray hair, on a hot-looking 30-year-old body still looks damn good. And the daughters, it didn't affect them at all. There were a fucking million guys trying to take them out all the time. There's a name for that, prematurely gray. And there's also a gene isolated for that. I can't remember the name of it. Prematurely gray. Have you ever known anybody that did that, Stephanie?
No.
I know a couple people. I was pretty surprised in like their mid-late 20s starting to go gray.
I know women, though, it drives nuts. I mean, they got a bright light and a fucking window, a mirror and shit, pulling those things out when they were in their 20s.
I think that's pretty young to start going gray in your 20s.
Yeah, but there's a reason for it. I can't remember what it is, Yeah, it's crazy. It's weird on hair and how it goes, why it does what it does,
Yeah, I know.
But who wouldn't like a nice head of hair, like those Prel commercials where those good-looking girls?
Oh God, I know it.
My God, man! I mean, you see that every once in a while. I mean, I see women once in a while. It's like that have hair like that. They're far and few between. But you just can't believe there's hair like that.
I know. And nowadays they have all those hair pieces that women you can add to your hair.
Yeah.
All that now.
I think that was Michelle I was talking to the other day. That extensions, like you can tell if they're cheap. Maybe it was Marty's wife. If you get good ones or cheap ones.
The good ones are expensive. So to get if you want to get them installed in your hair, you're paying $1,000.
And what does it just make it look thicker?
If you can make it look thicker or longer, you pick out the length that you want, and it does give it more body to your hair just in general because you're adding hair to it.
Could a new boyfriend still pull you on the hair while you were having sex, or it's fragile?
Well, there's the expensive ones you can tug at. You can tug at more.
Okay, that's worth $1,000 then if you're into that shit.
Well, yeah, they used to sew it in.
Yeah, that's what Stephanie, that's what I'm talking. They sew it in. They take little tiny strands, and it's like a sewing mechanism to put in your
Yep.
I knew a good-looking model guy down there when I was in Chicago because I was best friends with the guy and we hung around, and so I met other guys that modeled full time. And he always had a hard time keeping girlfriends because he when he was banging them, he wanted to pull their hair. I mean, I'm glad I never liked that because, like all that fetish shit, it's hard enough with none of that. And now you add that to it too. And if you're into that shit, you're going to get around to testing the waters. But he'd get all sorts of girls, and after about a month, man, they didn't want to see him anymore. His fucking scalp hurt. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Look at this fucking wacko that shot this CEO, healthcare guy.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that guy was knocking out all sorts of pussy, too. Valedictorian of a private high-end school. Great student at an Ivy League school. In shape.
You're talking about the kid that killed the CEO?
Yeah. But, he'd rather fucking kill people. His hero was the Unabomber than go out and bang hot chicks at schools where he was known as a genius.
Have they even found out the reason why he did it?
I guess he hated technology.
Oh.
Yeah. But I'll bet that guy, if you see him, he looks like kind of a bodybuilder in certain shots. I bet he was banging all sorts of hot chicks at college.
Yeah.
Smart, too. But he didn't give a fuck about that. He'd rather kill people charging you too much for your health insurance.
Oh God. I know that I have that health insurance.
Really?
United Healthcare. I've got that.
Holy
Shit.
fucking shit. Yeah.
I
This guy,
know.
he had good internships and jobs too. Of course, they're all saying now he's no longer with them.
Oh God. I
Talk
hope
about a marketing fucking nightmare.
Well, I hope my rates don't go up.
Well, they won't until the dust settles.
Oh God. I shouldn't laugh.
Yeah, that next CEO, he'll be going to and from work in a fucking armored truck.
Oh God. I know it.
Yeah, damn. You had that health insurance, huh?
Yeah, United Healthcare. I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you think your rates are too high?
No.
Okay, I was going to say maybe we can make him a martyr.
Yeah. No.
But it goes to show you human behavior. You just never know. This guy'd rather do shit like that. His fucking life's ruined now, and go out and bang hot chicks at good schools. You just never know what's going through somebody's mind.
Oh, I know. And, he was a nice looking guy, too.
Yeah.
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 Crazy.
Yeah, that fucker was an all-A student and valedictorian at a really well-recognized private school. He got a full-ride scholarship to an Ivy League college. And he had good jobs and just said, fuck it. He's sitting there daydreaming and killing some motherfucker that jacked up some poor person's health care.
Oh, God.
That's what, and actually followed through on it.
Yeah.
You can't tell me someone that's that smart gave a fuck about getting caught. I mean, he didn't make it easy. He didn't turn himself in, but he was taking taxi cab rides, fucking smiling at cameras and shit. And
I know it.
And he thinks that he, fell on his sword. He did society a favor. And you got to admit that in a weird, fucked up way. I mean, if I was a CEO of a health insurance company, I'd probably have second thoughts about raising rates after that.
Yeah.
The next denial, right? Like,
yeah, damn. Instead of saying I think that's a great idea for the company as a whole, I'd probably saying, can we get back to that a month from now? Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, but you just never know. Same with the Unabomber. He was a full tenured Harvard graduate professor at 23. Tutored. All the neighbors always loved him. All these crazy motherfuckers. There's a guy that just interviewed the son of Sam. I didn't watch it, but I'm gonna. Some ex-mob guy that has a YouTube channel now interviewed the son of Sam. I watched about a minute of it. And he seems like, well, he's a fucking Jew. Smart guy that he'd rather go around fucking smoking people, making out in cars than, carry the family tradition of being intelligent and making shit tons of money in New York.
I know. Yeah. They just got a screw loose.
No, and look at Ted Bundy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just never know what people are thinking. Look at these crime shows for guys. A fucking neurosurgeon. They live in a nice house. They own a fucking house in Martha's Vineyard. He's got a beautiful wife, 10 kids, and he decides to fucking off the wife and fucking buys bags and saw blades and everything else in front of a camera at Home Depot. Gets caught going to a toll booth when he said he was doing an operation. What the fuck?
God damn.
You know what I mean? I mean, holy shit. And the black guys, forget that. That's one of the big criticisms of that one crime show. They say they discriminate against black people. Hey, my treehouse, how you doing? They discriminate against black people. And if you watch the first 48, these fucking black guys, man, it's a whole new fucking level of stupid. They got their cell phone on them. They go and they smoke 2 people over a dope deal. They go and then they eat at fucking Waffle House for an hour while they film there. Then the gun falls out of their pocket. And they got that on thing. Then they go and buy garbage bags and saw up the body from the saw. They got it fucking Home Depot. I mean, you couldn't do anything worse. Why not just drive yourself to the police department, you dumbass? And they all tell each other.
I know. I have watched so many of those crime shows.
No,
I
fuck.
know I could commit the perfect
Yeah,
murder.
yeah, it's just like unsolved mysteries. Back then, I mean, they'd fuck around for a year trying to figure out who killed these people. Not anymore, not with all this shit. I mean, the cell phone helped law enforcement more than any other single factor I can think of.
Oh, I know.
These stupid asses, you're fucked either way, whether you leave it on or whether you turn it off.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of people that got the life in prison and the death penalty because of a fucking cell phone.
Well, yeah.
Then you turn the fucker off right before you drive over there and kill him. Then you get back home and you turn it on. That does not work.
No, you don't. No, you don't take your cell phone with you.
Right.
I mean, that's it.
But even if you don't, you're fucked. Because why was it off? Why was it off when your wife was found in a million pieces in a garbage bag you bought at Home Depot?
No, that's why you leave it on and you leave it at home.
Yeah, but they're going to wonder why
I
you left
forgot
it
my
at home.
phone.
But if you leave it at home, you can't be going through a toll booth with a camera paying a toll when your phone was at home. These people are so stupid.
I know.
God, I just don't get it.
No, I know, Tom.
But that's why they say if you ever do a crime, don't do it in the heat of passion, because you're gonna get caught. You're gonna do stupid shit. You're gonna leave hair and skin cells.
Yeah, you have to plan it. You have to plan it.
Fucking DNA.
You gotta have a plan.
Yeah, you gotta have a plan. Take a fucking dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it too, Mark. Yeah, back of the taxi cab. Anyway, but for all we know, the ones that got caught. There's probably super smart ones out there that didn't get. I like the ones that they come back on 40 years later and they're running a daycare or something.
Oh, you mean the cold cases where they catch them?
They got.
I love those too.
That happened right before I moved down to that neighborhood in Florida. They got the clown killer. She only got like 7 years too, and she killed that guy's wife. Look at the clown killer, Wellington, Florida.
Yeah, I've never heard of the clown killer.
Yeah, she wore a clown mask and went over and knocked at the door, and the guy's wife came and she killed her. Got away with it for like 30 or 40 years.
Oh my God!
This fucking, you got to give law enforcement credit, even when they, DNA wasn't on the horizon. They kept that shit in the refrigerator somewhere.
Oh, I know it.
I mean, for them. Yeah.
They kept it for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, they sure did.
Isn't that amazing how, and then now they can pull it out and say, hey, you did it.
Yeah. I just read a thing. I didn't read the story, but I saw it on the internet this morning where a girl did the DNA thing for fun. Got 35 years in prison for a murder she committed.
Yeah, see, I know.
Yeah.
That DNA, man.
I guarantee you these DNA places, they're selling that fucking shit to law enforcement.
Oh, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know it. Which, so what? I mean, good.
So what? Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, one little hair, one teeny drop of blood.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's amazing when you really think about it.
It's crazy.
I know.
Nuts.
Yep.
It is technology now.
Yeah.
Hey, Michelle, you doing Flex today?
No, I'm not doing Amazon Flex, even though Amazon Flex has been getting pretty busy.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Hey, Michelle, be careful you don't get murdered delivering something.
Well, I'll have fun. Have fun trying. I mean.
No, but I mean, I had a car come into my driveway a day earlier than the delivery was expected. And as it turns out, it was an Amazon Flex that I wouldn't have thought in a million years.
Well,
Tom had a gun, Michelle. Tom had a gun.
Well, you have to make sure that you're parking on the street.
Yeah, so you couldn't do that here. If I was doing that shit, I'd have a sign on the side of my car.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Put a sign, if you have a long driveway for people who live in rural areas who, they have long driveways. a lot of them who order packages a lot, they'll just put a sign at the front of the driveway, like, oh, we have a box here, leave the packages here, don't come up the driveway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Have you ever had
wow.
anything weird where people were surprised it was
Oh,
their
yeah.
delivery?
Oh, I've gotten a couple of weird looks, you know, like, who are you, you know, kind of like ready to attack. And I said, sir, I'm just giving, you know, just here to drop off a package.
Now, how come, now this is just my first experience that I know with this flex thing. Why don't you guys, with all the technology and email and phone numbers, if you guys are going to deliver my shit a day early, why don't you get a hold of me? So I'm waiting for you.
I don't work for Amazon. Like, I don't know what Amazon does or doesn't do. You know what I mean? They should tell you. Actually, with Amazon, it does tell you. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I don't know.
It did, but they were a day early.
It says out for delivery, though, Tom. If you would have went on your Amazon account.
Look, if they say it's coming Wednesday, I'm waiting for. I'm not logging on. I mean, because 99% of the time, whatever they say, yeah, it's here Wednesday.
Yeah, well, I know, but that happens. In fact, my sister was supposed to get a package on Monday, and it came today. So see, look at that. Yeah.
They're on top this year for delivering packages on if everyone's getting early delivery.
Michelle, do you know so do you deliver for certain places similar to Amazon?
Like, what do you mean? Like, I mean,
like packages unrelated to food.
Yeah, like Dick's Sporting Goods here does it.
Do you know the value of what you're leaving off?
Sometimes they do give you like the receipt and you do know how much they paid for it, but sometimes you don't.
Like if you had an $800 router, would you be reluctant to leave it on the porch, or are you covered by taking a photo of it and then it's my problem if it comes up missing?
Yeah, you have to take a picture of it, and you also have to make sure that it's in a secure place. So like you just can't, like if it's raining or snowing, you can't just like leave it like unattended. Like you got to try to find a good place to leave the item.
Gotcha.
Well, you're supposed to at least.
And if you pull up to a house and you've got the item and you're sure somebody's home, will you ever, because you're in a hurry, just leave it there, or will you knock on the door?
I never knock on doors, not with Amazon.
No.
Really?
They don't hear either.
Really?
Yeah,
no.
not with Amazon.
Why is that?
I don't know.
It just says to leave at the door.
Oh, so that wasn't unusual that they just left it in front of my door last night.
Yeah.
No, that's what they do.
Yeah.
And then they'll send you a text that says your package was delivered.
With a picture, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, would you leave a package at a house with all the lights off?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've done it. I've had to do it. Like, you're getting your package. You know?
When you have to go back twice on a place that's out of the way, is it possible you're losing money?
No, I have ran into problems where people said I didn't deliver their package and I did. There were issues with packages not being able to be delivered for whatever reason, and I had to bring them back to the warehouse to go back out again. But yeah, it is. But the people that said that they didn't receive their package, it was like literally, I would say, out of like 1,000 deliveries, it's like 5 people maybe. And that's
right. And once you have a picture of that package on their porch, they're fucked if it comes up missing, not you, right?
Right. It's totally your responsibility.
Even though you left it out at an unattended house.
Yes.
Yes.
There are, wait, Tom. I do have to get signatures from certain customers. So there is a way when you order from Amazon that you say that they need to get a signature for somebody to drop it off.
What is that usually for? Just high value things?
I don't know, because they're just in boxes. It doesn't tell me what's in the box. Yeah. I do not know.
Yeah, I wonder though, you'd think with security in mind and not wanting to get fucked on this stuff, that if you had an opportunity, you'd knock on the door. And I'm just wondering if that's just Like to make sure that
Well, Tom,
Charlie Rose doesn't answer the door?
This might here's some good advice. They also have Amazon box stations, kind of like PO boxes. You know
Yeah.
how okay, and they put them in like gas stations. They might put them in like a mall place,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
you can go to the locker and get your packages there if you'd like to do that too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you ever get like a nightmare package where no matter what you've tried, you just can't seem to get this thing delivered?
Yeah, it's happened. Yeah,
Huh.
it's a rare. That's very rare. I think that's only happened like twice.
Huh. Do you have people like ever like confront you as you're delivering? It's like they just happen to be going out when you happen to be coming in. It's like, the fuck are you doing?
Oh yes, I actually we've gotten yelled at too. There was a grumpy old man yelling at. He was like he was your
Years old.
screaming at us, and I'm just like, sir, we're just here to deliver your package. He's like, get off my property. I'm like, all right, leave now. Like
Some crazy fucker in Ohio, I think it was, shot the Amazon package getting the black lady getting delivering something.
Oh my God.
Crazy. But I would think with all the bullshit nowadays, you guys would have a flasher on your fucking hat or a sign on your car.
There's vests, like they give you vests to wear. So
I'd be wearing that fucking thing all the time, wouldn't you, Stephanie?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it ought to
Sure
be look like a
would.
construction worker thing, reflective tape, but it says Amazon.
Yeah.
I'd be looking through my high pyroscope. A-M-A. Oh, okay. That's my router.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, well, it got me thinking a lot how stuff can happen.
Oh yeah, I know it.
Most people know it's coming.
Yeah. Well, I knew it was coming, but it wasn't supposed to come till the next day.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, most people don't really care. I mean, honestly, 9 times out of 10, I don't even see them. I have had a couple of instances with dogs.
Yeah.
What
if you go into McDonald's to get something, you come out and all the packages you were supposed to deliver are gone?
Shit, I don't know. That would be bad.
Yeah. I mean, they got to get ripped off by their employees here and there.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
They go through employees, and at Amazon, it seems like, well, at least the department of people that I see, they don't really keep people around that much. Like, I think I've seen like 1 or 2 people that have been around since I've been going there for like over a year now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they go through a good amount of turnover.
Oh, okay.
And then, Tom, when you order from a third-party seller, like I ordered Faith and Autumn 2 kids' smartphones.
Yeah.
And the third-party sellers, those come from UPS, not Amazon. So
Yeah,
UPS delivers those.
That's what happened to mine. That was a UPS delivery, but in a private car.
Oh, I've never had UPS in a private car.
Yeah, it was a UPS actually, but I ordered it through Amazon, so that would have been third party. You're right.
Third party, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, why wouldn't you deliver for Amazon, Influb? Do you think it's just too risky? Hey, Michelle, is it possible to like? I don't see what. There's got to be routes where these places lose money.
So this is the deal. Usually what they do is they make it like you can pick up a 2-hour delivery, a 3.5 hour, or 4.
Yeah.
And they'll pay you a certain amount for that. But honestly, it all equals out the same usually, because like, let's say you have to drive an hour out to get to your route.
Yeah.
And an hour back.
Yeah.
They still configure that you know, it all goes into how much you get paid. So you might only have to drop off 10 packages out there, and then you can go back home.
Have you ever heard of Spark?
Yeah, for Walmart.
Yeah, I talked to a lady delivering for them last night. Is that good or like same?
Walmart doesn't pay as well as Amazon, but it's the same thing. You go to Walmart, you sit there, you load up your car, and then kick off and do deliveries.
Now, are there other rules in place, or are you basically just an independent contractor? You can do what you want.
You can do whatever you want. There really isn't. The only rules that you have to follow is at Amazon, you do have to show your license to the people at Amazon.
Yeah.
And then you pull forward, and then they have a group, like a batch of people. So there'll be like 20 something cars waiting, and then you grab a cart and then you just fill up and leave. But there really isn't many rules.
Because if I moved to an area and I was gonna do like B&Es, I think I'd work for one of those places for about a month.
I mean,
it'd really give you a great chance to scout out what was what.
Oh, the areas and everything.
Yeah.
You're right. It is a good way if you're moving, if you're relocating, you'll really get to know.
But I mean, if I was going to do B&Es, I'd work for them for a month. That'd be like invaluable information.
What's the company called?
No, if I was going to like rob people.
Oh, rob people? If you were going to rob.
No, it'd be a great place to work for a month to like scope out places and, you know, increase your odds of success. No dog, no light, no husband.
Oh, God.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, this is what the smart crooks do. I'd have my own, they get a hold of my damn fucking little personal diary. That'd be my rule of thumb. No dogs, no lights, no husband. You get put on the list to get robbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they give the detective something to do after like 5 years. They say, well, we figured out his motive. He doesn't rob places where there's lights. They have a husband or they have
Oh, God.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's like, you know, I mean, the smart motherfuckers, I mean, who wants to just like randomly go in to rob someplace where she's got a new boyfriend and he collects guns? Fuck that. They breed pit bulls. Yeah. Well, that's a good idea.
Tom, you have to admit, though, too, everybody has cameras. You're stupid if you know, a lot of it's not uncommon anymore. Like either you have the Ring, you have
right. Yeah. That'd be another thing. I'd need to make sure that. I'd suggest I'd knock on all the doors. I'd violate company policy. It's like, you know, it's real dark out here, and I see you don't have a dog. Do you have any cameras?
Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't have cameras. I know I should. So, okay, you get on the list, too. Do you have a husband? No. Oh, good. You lock your fucking doors.
And he always wears an orange stocking cap.
I think I'd only deliver for Amazon on Halloween night. It's like, oh yeah, well here you go. It's like, no, here's your Amazon package.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Tom will be like, now, is everything in the car that we just load up, how much do you think it's worth?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd subpoena my fucking eBay account. It's like, oh, here it all is. Buy it now.
Yes.
I'd have buy it now.
Buy it now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be dumb enough to do the 10-day auction.
But with your luck, you'd open the boxes and be a bunch of crap.
Yeah. I like the way Michelle thinks. So, hey, all this stuff. What do you think it's worth?
We could do a talk show. How much do you think for my car right now after I pick up an Amazon?
Yeah, we all get really skillful at Photoshop, and we just create these fucking shit we dropped off at fucking make up porches and stuff. We make it look just like theirs. We go on Zillow. We get a good Jew lawyer when we got charged.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking made. We'd be
Oh,
on
God.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Well, we need to spread the distance, though. I'd have to steal the shit here, and Stephanie'd have to sell it in Washington. You wouldn't want
I'd
to
have
do
to
anything
sell it on Facebook in Seattle.
Yeah, exactly right. And you'd have to look stupid, like you didn't even know what you were selling, like spell the words wrong and shit, so they didn't.
Oh,
know.
I can do that.
Heck yeah.
I can do that easy.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man. Good.
Everyone thinks I'm.
It's going to be my new channel. My new channel is going to be here. Come make Amazon deliveries with me. How much do you think's in my car today?
Yeah, no, that'd be good. Just like, just be a different kind of version of The Price is Right. Except you'd be stealing.
Oh my God. And then you have me who can play and act so dumb that tell that poor old woman, she didn't know the stuff was stolen.
No, we'd throw them really off. We'd be delivering Amazon shit with a FedEx hat. He'd talk to the detective. He says, "You got me so fucking mixed up now. I don't know what to do."
Yeah, I know, Tom. I know.
Oh,
oh my God.
God.
Oh, so funny.
Well, I wanted to test out this channel so everything's working good. So I'm trying to think. We'll pick a good night. Now you're working over the weekend, right, Steph?
Yeah.
Okay, so we won't do it on the weekend. We'll pick a good night when most people are. I'm going to go to Hilton Head Saturday, but I'll maybe Friday night, come back Saturday morning. So I'm not going to do it on the weekend for sure, but mull around like what you think would be a good day. You too, Michelle, on when we could do this so we can get people to comment on it.
Well, it's going to have to be at night because that's when everybody usually.
Yeah, no, it'll be at night. Yeah, it will.
Yeah, it's usually.
Now, is this the one about affairs?
Yeah, we'll do the affairs.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I don't know what I can contribute.
I think we would get more. I mean, if I had a bunch of, I don't give a fuck now because I'm not running for office, don't need a job, and I'm not in a relationship. So I can afford to tell the truth, but a lot of people can't. Like Michelle, if she got, gang banged 20 times in her own volition, you wouldn't want to be talking about that now with a career in front of you. So you'd make a fake name and come on, but still give the insightful truth of your experience. Yeah, I'll promote it I'll put things up way in advance. So, it's not going to be like I'm doing now where I'm just kind of testing it out.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. But I'd like to, to get people to, because I learned a lot over the years on why they happen. It's not always what you think. Sometimes it's the opposite of what you'd think, Yeah.
But,
yeah. I think it'd be fun. And if you look at the comments on the little videos that I uploaded that I said I was going to do it, there are lots of people that, that never come on and talk, but say they had one. It was the worst thing they ever did. Others say they had one. They do it again if that same criteria was met. Others wouldn't think of it. Others wish they had one. It's interesting.
Huh.
And just like your church, Michelle, no judging. Whether you had 10 of them or whether you had none, we don't care. Time to tell the truth. Truth Central, right, Stephanie?
Yeah, I wasn't married long enough to have an affair, so I'll be able to listen, but I don't think I'll be able to contribute much.
Yeah, well, that's a good answer, though. I mean, that's honesty.
Yeah,
who knows what would have happened in another 10 years?
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I can't say.
Or what would have happened if you would have caught your husband banging one of your girlfriends?
Right.
Could you ever have trusted him again?
Oh God, probably not.
Right.
Yeah, I know it.
The hump on that.
Right. Yeah, I know that would be. Yeah, that'd be really hard. I feel bad for people because how could you, even if you stayed together? Goodness, that trust would be.
Yeah, but maybe trust is just an illusion to begin with.
Maybe.
I mean, if you're sitting there finger banging yourself, thinking about some mandingo you saw on the front of National Geographic, and you don't tell them, Is that a violation of trust?
I don't know.
Yeah, he asked you if you ever had any fantasies about black guys, and you said no. Well, that's not trusting either. So the point here is there's a lot of variations of it. And when it's all said and done, it's not so crystal clear as people think. Most people will tell you they think an affair is based mostly on sex, and that's not always necessarily true.
Oh, I believe that. I don't think that's necessarily true either.
Well, I can tell you it's true here. I can't think of any other reason to have one.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Fucking hold hands and drink hot chocolate. I want to bang, goddammit.
Oh, God.
All you ladies out there, just his information, his email address.
Yeah, just don't feel hesitant to just email me.
Yep, email him.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, see, here, this is another aspect. This is why I like it. Frisky doesn't think fantasies count. I would kind of tend to agree with that. But if the thing's based on trust and you tell your significant other you've always been 100% honest with them, then you're a liar. So see how you can get boxed in and painted into a corner?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the smart thing, if you wanted to keep the slate clean, was say, I'd really rather not talk about private thoughts. I used to get in some big ass arguments with my wife. I'd start laughing about something. And I wouldn't tell her what, and she'd get fucking pissed. I said, it's private thoughts.
Yeah, Eric's done that to me a bunch.
Yeah, it's private thoughts. It's like, she'd catch me jacking off, and it's like, and you better tell me, what were you thinking about? It's like, I was thinking about us. She said, you lying motherfucker. It's like, I was thinking about your younger sister. Now that I believe.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my God.
This is how the world works. Call a spade a spade. You want honesty, you're going to get it. That's the point. We'll all learn from it, whether you've had an affair, whether or not you haven't, whether you want one, whether you don't, whether your ship has sailed, like in the case of Stephanie and me. Even our affairs are fantasies now.
Exactly.
Well, you guys have a good day today.
Yep.
You party on.
You too, guys.
And thanks for doing the first test chat.
Yeah, I'm glad I caught you.
All right. See you, Michelle.
Okay. Bye, you guys. Bye everybody in the chat.
Conan. You guys, I don't want to miss anybody. Jeff, Callie, we will party on. John Boy, Larry, Terry, Mark, have a good day today. Try to.